welcome to my channel. You got me in stitches. My name is Anna, and also a warm welcome to my new series, Deconstruct, to reconstruct vintage style. So today I'm going to talk through with you guys about the dress that's over my left shoulder. You never know, one day it might be over my right shoulder. At the moment it's still on the left. Okay, I believe it's a 1970s frock and a little bit of telltale sign because of the wisp in the sort of shoulder detail and the rather large collar. And yeah, it's 100% polyester. There is a tag in the back neckline or label, whichever you like to prefer. And again on there it says 100% polyester, so I'm guessing this was made for a store, and once upon a time, you know, it was originally bought for a store, so I don't believe that there's any homemade or any homemade alterations or anything. What I will do, I will go over the frock in more detail and I will flip it inside out so you guys can see all the interior. So yeah, like I said, it's got rather large collar detail. It has little wisps on the shoulder detail. I kind of like that. It's kind of sort of futuristic. Yeah, a little bit of fun, but I don't know if I'm going to alter that or not. As you can see, it's got buttons all the way down the front. Again, I'm going to keep all those. The detail there in the two flaps that you can see, they are purely for decoration, and on them has one button on each flap. It comes down just about to my knee, or just a smidge past my knee. I may shorten the length of it, I don't know yet. Yeah, there's no back seam in this one, so yeah, gonna have a little bit of fun with this. But again, overall it's like a tint on me, so I'm gonna obviously deconstruct it, and not too dissimilar to the previous frocks that you have seen. So taking in the side seams, which obviously will inevitably alter the bust dart, so I'd have to reconfigure them. They kind of sit okay on me at the moment, so it's a bit of a pain, because obviously I'm going to have to take them out, because as soon as you alter the sides, you're going to have to alter everything else. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. The next bit won't fit together until the sort of the piece before, and so on and so on. Yeah, so okay, I will turn the camera around and I will zoom in a little bit more on all the features and details of the dress, and then I will flip it inside out for you guys. Okay guys, so starting at the collar, as you can see, the rather large collar there, I think that's more to the era of the 1970s, but correct me if I'm wrong. And then over here, see how that sort of wisps up. Again, I'll just tuck that under. I do like that feature. I don't know if I might nip it in because it is quite high, and obviously it'll accentuate my shoulders, make my shoulders look massive. Something sort of out of a Tina Turner sort of video, I think. Okay, so it does have a top button. I just haven't done that up, so just follow that down, and again it just buttons all the way down. As you can see, the hem on this is pretty generous, but as I'm shading it a little bit, I'll actually have some extra fabric, so I will hope to do a couple of little details maybe on the dress. And yeah, as you can see, that lined, I think it lined all the way through. So I'll come up and I'll show you the flap here, as you can see. So just a single button, and then it's been serged and just stitched to the dress. Yeah, so purely decoration. I do like that. So that's what it looks like close up like that. I just spin it round. Okay, so as you can see, That's the back, and pretty straightforward. Like I said, there's no back seam or anything, so I will just flip it inside out for you guys. Okay, so I will talk through. I've just put the collar upright at the moment. So again, there it has been serged. It's fully lined all throughout. There's no shaping in the back, so there's no darts in the main fabric or the lining, with the exception of the shoulders there and around the front. See, there's the little label there. Don't know if anyone recognises that. And yeah, okay, let me flip it round for you. Okay, as you can see, I have left the collar stood up. So, okay, this is the front shoulder. So the lining has started sort of halfway across that shoulder there, and then it comes down. That is because I believe that's attached to the facing, so that will follow all the way down. It's a bit crumpled, guys, I know. So that's all the way down. Oh, and it's got a spare button. That's good. Yeah, so that's the collar. What I might do, if I just lift the lining up, and then we can see the interior of the main fabric. Okay, so I have partially lifted the lining and just kind of flipped it just to one side. So where they have put the bust dart, obviously they follow that through on the lining. Thankfully, I can move that bust dart so it's only folded. Thankfully, they haven't cut it. So if you remember on last week's video, the dart I could not change because it was cut. Again, generous seam. It's going to be a whole bunch more generous as well, because I'm going to have to take it in quite a few inches there. Look, they've got the original little nick where they've matched. They would do their matching. There you go. Yeah, so there's the arm side. It's all been serged. And it's funny because if you look at the inside of the lining, they have pink and shade. Pink and shade, they have pinked. Pinked the raw edges on the lining. So that's interesting. And when they've attached the lining to the main fabric, they haven't done, I don't think they've done any. No, they've just actually left that raw. Isn't that strange? And then on the facing they have put on iron-on inner facing there. Again, so that's extra strength for the buttons and the buttonholes. Yeah, so you can have some fun with that. And they've just basted that to the shoulder. And again, you can kind of sort of see the shoulder seam of the main fabric there. Kind of. Yeah, so okay. Okay, I've just flipped the lining back. So the dresses was as is, as you saw, still inside out. So deconstruction time will start now. And also overall, it's actually in really, really good condition. Look, there's no staining at all around the arm side. So yeah, that's been really looked after. Unless maybe the person might have changed the lining, but it looks all original to me. So Okay everybody, so I have seam it the sides, as you can see. I have marked the centre of the back, because what I'm going to do now is put some darts in the back so it will give the back piece some shaping. So yeah, I thought I'd just film that so you guys can see. So this is just very rough at the moment. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fit that on myself and make any adjustments that I need. Okay, so I have pinned and repinned and adjusted quite a few times. I have at the moment just folded back the arm side. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it like that or not. It's just the fitting is a lot better on me if I do. Okay, I have brought the arm side in significantly as well, so that will sit a little tighter and then there's less gaping and sort of seeing my armpit, which I don't really want. Okay, so on the back, as you can see, I have done the back darts. That took quite a while really to sort out the length and everything. I have done a little trick. I've rolled up the lining and it's still there and just pinned that. Okay, just go around to the front. And the same with the lining on the front. I have just rolled it and just pinned it so it's all out the way. Okay, so the side seams, as you can see, that's the original. Haven't pressed it yet, and this is where I've pinned it. I have reconfigured those darts quite a few times and I'm actually keeping the originals. I know they're a little tiny bit off whack, not a whole bunch. It's just a little bit less work if I just keep them as original as possible. If you can see, I've just ever so slightly, I'm going to make them so it doesn't go to the original point, and just ever so, like I said, ever so slightly, I've just come down by the original line. Yeah, so that's that, and then following that down, and as you can see, that is the faux pocket flap. So I have brought it in to that because I thought, oh no, I don't really want to have to take those off and move them, and I did use the quick unpick just to take a few little stitching off the line, and it's actually left a line, so I can't move them even if I wanted to. Otherwise it would look terrible unless I did something and did perhaps a double flap, and I don't want to do that. So anyway, just following that seam all the way to the bottom, and then the hem, I've unpicked the hem, and I will have to redo all the hem because it's just slightly off kilter, and obviously want to keep a hem level. I'm not touching, that's obviously it's spun round, but I mean that is the front, that's the front, and yeah, this is the inside of the front. So yeah, and obviously I wanted to keep the collar and everything because I thought if I start reconfiguring everything too much, then I'm going to have to alter all the collar and everything and around the top part of the neck, and I don't want to do that. So I've kept the shoulder darts, so didn't need to reconfigure those at all. Yeah, so now is for the actual sewing. Okay, so as you saw from the little clips, I have done all the sewing and everything. So the finished darts on the back, that will wash out, that's just my markers. I've just got to do the arm side, tidy that all up. I'm not sure if I'm going to put the, I'm not sure what you call it, but that shoulder detailing. I may just put some bias binding on that, obviously tidy up all those little bits and pieces. Yeah, and then just left to hem it, and if I unpin this, that should just roll down, and to finish off the lining. So I will do these raw edges and reconfigure the measurements so the lining fits inside, input the darts in that, and yeah, so just the hemming, arm side and the lining to do. Okay everybody, so this is my end little segment where I will just go through, I mean primarily I've gone through everything as I was filming it so you could see the journey, and yeah, it was a little bit of a journey with this one. So we'll start from the shoulders. As you can see, I have omitted the shoulder detail because they're a little bit too sticky up, wispy. Yeah, I know, that's my new technological description for that. So yeah, I have kept them. I may reconfigure them. It's just they were just a bit too sort of futuristic, spacey, sticky uppy. Yeah, okay, excuse the technology on that, you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm gonna reconfigure and play around with that. So again, if I do and they lay kind of how I would prefer them, then obviously I will show you guys in the future if and when I choose to do that. Again, the collar and the stand didn't need to be touched or anything, and neither did the front placket and the buttons or anything like that. The bust darts I have reconfigured just a tiny little bit, just like a couple of mil, and then a couple of mil just a bit shorter. The faux flaps with no pocket, not faux flaps, you know, faux look-alike pockets with the flaps, again I didn't want to change that. I thought I may have had to just slightly move them. I used a quick unpick just to seam rip a couple of little stitches, but the stitching line was on the main garment, and obviously I wouldn't have been able to move those flaps because it just would have had left an unsightly line, so they are left as is. So the back darts, they're quite long, quite a few inches long, but they work really well. And I took in both the side seams, about 1.5 inches on both sides. So yeah, a lot of hand stitching in this. Around the arm side, when I attached the lining to the arm side, I wanted to do the hand stitching there. Reason being because, you know, it takes a little bit more time, but just creates those hidden stitches. And again on the hem, I hand stitched the entire hem. So the hem has been reduced just a little bit, but I think it does sit on my knee. I didn't need to raise it as much as I thought I was going to. Again, I was going to deliberately raise it, but I've kind of left it as is. If it's risen a little bit, it's only going to be about 1/4 inch or even a little bit less than that. So yeah, really comfortable wear, really like it, quite fun. Just got to get used to those really sort of jumbo sized colour there. So it looks like I will be flying somewhere. Yeah, so, but it's just another finished vintage frock to add to my vintage collection of clothes that I have. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this week's journey with me with this. I've enjoyed this one, although there was quite a bit more work involved. It doesn't look like there is, but it was just messing around with the back darts and the bust darts, and yeah, so, but overall I'm really pleased with it. So again, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you think I should reattach the shoulder detail wispy told you, that's what I want to call them, wispy shoulder bits or should I just leave them as is? I quite like that sleeveless look, but again, some of my vintage frocks have got that, so it would be nice to have something different. And that was one of the main reasons why I went for this dress in the first place, because I like that. But again, because I have narrowed in the arm side and shoulder, maybe they won't sort of protrude as much or sticky uppy wispy as much as they have. Who knows? I don't know. Okay, so right, that's it for this deconstruct reconstruct vintage style. So there will be another one next Wednesday. If you would like to check back, that would be awesome. I will see you guys on Sunday. So at the moment I actually haven't got any makes to show. I may possibly show you guys some of my books. We will see. Okay, so tune in for that on Sunday, and I will see you next Wednesday for Deconstruct Reconstruct Vintage Style. Thank you so much for all of your support on this channel. Very much appreciated as always. Have a wonderful week wherever you are, and if you're stitching anything, again, let me know in the comments if you're stitching anything vintage. It'd be really lovely to, yeah, get a conversation piece going and see what it is. And again, sort of reviving all the vintage clothes, whether it's adults or children, anything like that. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Take care.